Hello everyone, I am Professor S.R. Patil, Department of Information Science and Engineering, PLDA CET, Vijaypura. In today's lecture, I am going to teach you pointers concept in C programming. Before we move to the concept, I request all of you, please subscribe the channel and like the video. So, in today's lecture, we are going to see the pointer concept. So what do you mean by pointer? You know that pointer is a variable which stores the address of another variable. A pointer is very powerful feature of C language. It helps the programmer to manipulate the data at low level, that is by using address of computer memories instead of identifiers. So it helps the programmer to efficient computer programs in terms of time and space efficiency, or we can also call it as it helps the programmer to write concise and efficient computer program. So that is one of the advantages of using the pointer. The program that works with high speed and occupies less computer's memory. Suppose if you use the pointer concept, the program that works with speed will be the very high and which occupies the less computer's memory. Okay, so this is a basic introduction about the pointer concept. Next, we move on to the declaration of pointer. Pointers must be defined in the declaration part of the main program before they are used in the executable part of the main. Okay, so this is a syntax: data type, pointer name. So this is a, we can call it the asterisk or star. Okay, pointer name, where data type can be any data type like integer, float, character, double, and pointer name, it is a valid identifier. Okay, so move on to the next slide. Okay, so here are some of the examples they have given. Int n is equal to 7. So this is what normal or scalar variable. Okay, we have assigned the 7 to the variable n. So next, int star p star ip. What is this? It is a integer pointer ip. Integer pointer ip to store address of n variable. As I told you, pointer, which is a variable which stores the address of another variable. Okay, so in the next line we have seen IP, that is equal to address of n. Okay, so what does it mean? IP is equal to address of n means what? Address of n variables will be stored in IP pointer. Here IP is nothing but a pointer. Don't get confused. Star IP, this is a pointer. Okay, IP pointer. IP is equal to address of n means IP which holds the address of what? N variable. Understood? So this is with respect to integer. Similarly, we have taken for the float. Float answer is equal to 30.75. This is a normal float type variable, how we can declare and initialize. The next, float star fp, that is a floating pointer fp to store the address of answer variable. You have taken the answer as a variable, right? That is why you have taken store the address of answer variable. And finally, fp is equal to ampersand ans. Okay, what it does, which stores the address of answer variable to where? Fp pointer. Understood? Okay. With respect to character ch a. Okay, so a which is enclosed within a single quote. So this is a normal character type variable. Again, we have the pointer cp. Okay, so character pointer cp to store the address of ch variable. So cp contains what? Address of ch. Okay, understood? So this is an example for the pointers. The next concept, that is initialization of the pointers. So here the pointers can be assigned or initialized with the address of other variables by using the following syntax. So the syntax is pointer, that is equal to address of variable, where pointer is what? Pointer is a valid pointer name. Okay, so this address, what is this? Ampersand, we call it as a ampersand. The meaning of ampersand means what? Address of. Okay, what does it mean? This is a ampersand symbol, and meaning of this is address of. And what is this variable? This is a well-defined variable. This is our initialization of the pointers. Next, some of the example for initialization. N is equal to 7. 7 is initialized to variable n. Okay, this is declaring and initialization of the variable. Int pointer IP. So declaration of integer pointer IP. So why it is integer pointer? The data type is int. That is why integer pointer. Finally, IP contains what? Address of n. Okay, so this is initialization of pointer IP with address of n variable. Understood this? The next is float with respect to float. Float which contains the variable answer, the value is what? 30.75. This is the value which you have assigned to answer. So this is a floating point, what? FP. That this is FP is a pointer. Okay, so here FP pointer, what it contains? Address of answer, address of the another variable, that is answer. Similarly for character, this is how we can declare and initialize the character. And next is here declaration of character pointer CP. Okay, this is a character pointer CP. What it contains? CP, address of CH. Understood this? Okay, fine. Next, we can see some of the advantages of using the pointers. The use of pointers in programming that results into concise and efficient programming. Okay, this is a first advantage. Then coming to the second advantage, dynamic memory allocation, that is DMA, is possible by using pointers. So DMA, that is possible by what? Using the pointers. So what do you mean by the DMA? DMA means what? Dynamic memory allocation. How we can define the DMA? The required number of memory blocks can be allocated neither more nor less. The process of allocating the computer's memory during the program execution is called what? Dynamic memory allocation. I'll repeat once again. What do you mean by dynamic memory allocation? The process of allocating the computer's memory during the program execution is called dynamic memory allocation. The third advantage is that using pointers, programmers can construct advanced data structures. We can call it as a ADTs. Okay, so like linked list, queue, stack, tree, graph, set, etc. So what is this ADTs? These ADTs are most commonly used during the design and development of today's real-time applications. So in further classes, you will get to know what is the importance of all these advanced data structures. As of now, you just try to understand that ADTs are what? Most commonly used during the design and development of today's real-time applications. Okay. The next advantage is that the use of pointers with arrays, strings, and user-defined functions result into concise and efficient programming. Okay, so the pointer concept, we are going to make use of array concept, string, as well as the user-defined functions. When we use pointer with this concept, that results into concise and efficient programming. So these are some of the advantages of pointer concept. What are the disadvantages? So there are some disadvantages as well. So the first disadvantage is that uninitialized pointers may create an error in program. So the programmer is supposed to initialize the pointer with carefully. Okay, he is not supposed to forget to uninitialize the pointer. Then second disadvantage is that pointer bugs. Bugs means errors. Okay, the pointer bugs are difficult to remove. So compared to the other errors, okay, so pointer error are bit difficult to sort the or debug the program. Then third disadvantage is that dynamically allocated memory must be fed explicitly. So whatever the memory allocated dynamically, that must be filled explicitly. Then fourth disadvantage is that pointers updated with incorrect values, okay, pay attention, pointers updated with incorrect values may lead to memory corruption. So pointers should be updated with the correct value all the time. Okay, so you have to take, programmer has to take care of this thing. Okay, if the pointers updated with incorrect value, that leads to the memory corruption. Understood? Okay, these are some of the disadvantages of pointers. Next concept, that is declaration of pointers. So how we can declare the pointer? The pointers can be defined in the declaration part of main function by using the dereference operator. So this is what we call dereference operator, or asterisk or star. Okay, so normally we call it as a dereference operator. So we'll see the syntax. So syntax which contains, this is a data type, dereference operator, then pointer variable end with semicolon. So what is data type here? Data type, that is a valid data type, like it can be integer, it can be float, or it can be character or double. Okay, so what is this symbol star? We can call it the asterisk, ASTERISK, asterisk. Asterisk means what? It is a dereference operator. Okay, what do you mean? What is this? Asterisk means dereference operator. So this is a pointer variable. It is a valid what? Identifier. So this is declaration of the pointer. So we'll see one simple example, that is with and without pointer concept. So example of with and without pointer concept. This is int n is equal to 7. Okay, so this is a normal declaration and initialization of the integer variable. So int star IP, this is an integer pointer. Okay, this is star IP means integer pointer. So IP which contains what? Address of the n. Okay, so how I can denote with the memory location? This is variable n is there, the first one, okay, which contains 7. Okay, so what is address of n? Address means this is a memory location. Okay, similarly for this pointer, that is IP. Okay, IP contain what? Address of n. What is the address of n? The same address which is there. Okay, this is a content. So first we'll see without using the pointer. If I don't use the pointer, okay, what would be the output? We can print address and content of n without using pointers as follows. So this is a printf statement. Address of n, that is equal to %d. Address, whenever I use the term address, there must be ampersand. Okay, ampersand n. So address will be, so 0x800. This is a memory location address. And content of n, what is the content? What the value of n? N is equal to 7. So I'm going to print the 7. Understood this? Okay. So using the pointer concept. So using the pointer concept, that is, we can print the address and content of n using the pointer as follows. So address of n, that is IP. Okay. So what is the content of n? That is pointer IP, or integer pointer IP. Okay. So remember, IP that contains what? Address of IP. Okay, address of n, not IP, sorry. IP contains the address of n. What is the address of n? 0x800. What is its content? Pointer, integer pointer IP, which contains the n is equal to 7. Understood this? Okay, so this is without using pointer, the output is remain same, and using the pointer concept, the output is also same. But the thing is that if I use the pointer concept, okay, how it will look like. Fine. Okay, the next concept, that is address operator and dereference operator. So remember, address operator always denoted by the ampersand symbol, and dereference operator, that is a star. You can call it as a asterisk. So here, to manipulate the data by using pointers, the C programmer makes the use of address operator and dereference operator. So we'll see one by one. What is this address operator? We can call it as an ampersand. Okay, ampersand. The ampersand sign is used as address operators. It help the programmers to get the address of the other variable. It's very simple. Address operator that is used, okay, programmer what he does to get the address of the other variables. Okay, so asterisk. So this is the asterisk sign is used as a dereference operator. So it helps the programmer to define pointer variables and also to get the value at addresses. Okay, so value at addresses means what? Pointer, it is a variable which stores the address of another variable, isn't it? Okay, the next concept is, okay, we'll see the example first. To print the address and content of n using pointer, n value is equal to 7. So this is an integer pointer. IP contains address of n. Okay, so address of n is equal to, that is how much? 0x800. And what is the content of n? That is what? 7. Understood? Okay. Pointers and functions arguments. Okay, that is call by address. We have seen the call by address in the previous topic. Okay, so what is this pointers and function argument? So this particular method is having the capability to return a multiple values back to called function, whereas pass by value returns only one value. Okay, so here the value by reference method makes the use of pointers to pass the addresses, or we can say references of actual parameters to user defined function instead of values. What it returns? It returns the pointers to pass the address of actual parameters to user defined function instead of values. Okay, so in this particular method, changes made to formal parameters will affect the actual parameter. So we have seen that what is actual parameter and what is formal parameter. Okay, so whatever the changes we made to the formal parameters will affect the actual parameter as well. Okay, so this is the example which shows the how this formal parameter changes affect the actual parameter. So swapping of the two numbers we have seen. Okay, so this is a header file. Swap is a function name. Okay, void, it doesn't return any value, and we are passing the two parameter in pointer x, in pointer y. Okay, this is a function prototype, and program execution always start from the void main. Okay, int x is equal to 7, y is equal to 3. Okay, here I'm declaring and initializing the variable. Printf, before swap or before calling the function, the value of x and y I'm going to print. The value of x and y remains same before calling the function. So x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 3. That is what? Okay, which I'm going to print the value before calling the function. Okay, so swap ampersand x comma ampersand y. So I'm calling the function here within the main function. So when I call this particular function swap, the control automatically go to the void swap. I'm passing the argument as a pointer x and pointer y. Okay, so I'm taking a temporary variable int temp. Okay, so I'm storing the integer that is pointer x to temporary variable and integer pointer y to the what? Integer pointer x. Okay, so finally temp contains what? Temp contains integer pointer x. Okay, it means the address of x to the address of y. Okay, so we are going to swap the value here using the swap function. Once I perform that operation, finally after swap or after calling function, I'm going to display the value of x and y. So before swap, value is x is equal to 7, y is equal to 3. After swap, value of x become 3 and y become 7. Understood? So this is a simple program for call by reference to swap the two values. Next concept, that is pointers and arrays. An array can be defined as a collection of logically related data elements of similar type. Okay, so the programmers can make use of pointers with the arrays to write efficient program. To write the efficient program, what programmer does? He make use of the pointers with the arrays. Okay, the programmers can increment or decrement the pointers to interact with the array elements. By default, array name will return the address of first memory allocated. Okay, so by default, what it returns? The array name will return the address of first memory that is allocated. This is a simple example, that is pointers and arrays. This is a header file, main function. Listen, int a of 5. Okay, this is an array. I have entered how many elements here? 5 elements, because array size is 5. Okay, so I have declared a variable pointer integer IP and normal I. So IP contains first address of the memory location, A of 0. Okay, when it contains address of A of 0, it is supposed to display the element 10. Okay, next. So there is a, like after this, the arrays elements are, I'm using the for loop. Why I'm using the for loop? For loop I'm using because I'm supposed to display the 5 elements, right? Okay, so 5 elements, initially I value is equal to 0, because array index value always start from the 0. Okay, I less than 5 means it should be till 4. So 0 to 4, isn't it? So when I value is equal to 0, it will display the address of A of 0, that is 10 it is going to display, and I is incremented by 1. Okay, so when I value is incremented by 1, then I value becomes 1. Okay, so it will display the A of 1th position. What is A of 1th position? 20. So 20 similar to 30, 40, 50. So till this condition satisfied, it will display all the elements which are declared in the declaration part within the main function. Understood this? Okay. Next concept is increment or decrement pointers. Okay, the pointer variables can be incremented or decremented to interact with next or previous computer's memory locations sequentially. So the pointer variable, it can be incremented or it can be decremented. Okay, there are like 3: integer pointer, floating pointer, then character pointer. So we'll see the integer pointer. So whenever we increment or decrement the integer pointer, that will be incremented or decremented by 2. Why 2? Because that occupies the 2 bytes. What is the size of the integer? 2 bytes. So that is why it occupies the 2 bytes. Understood this? Okay. So similarly, float pointer. So whenever we increment or decrement the float pointer, that will be incremented or decremented by 4. Why 4? Because that occupies the 4 byte. The size of the float, that is 4 byte. Okay. Then character. Whenever we increment or decrement the character pointer, that will be incremented or decremented by 1, because that occupies the 1 byte. Okay. So you know that the size of the character is what? 1 byte, isn't it? So this is all about the increment or decrement pointers. Then pointers and strings. So how the pointer is relating with the string. Okay, so here this is an example for pointers and strings to display the string on monitor by using the pointer concept. So this is a header file. Execution of the program always start from the main. So this is a variable which I am going to declare here. String, this is of array type. The good morning is a variable good morning is a content, okay, which I'm going to store into the string. Okay, so character star p, this is a character pointer. So cp, it contains the address of str0. It means that first character, okay, 0th position. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Okay, so ampersand str of 0 means first it will point to the G. Okay, so here I'm going to check that. Okay, this is the address of first array element that can be stored, okay, in CP. CP is a variable, okay, pointer variable. While pointer CP, if it is not equal to null, okay, remember this, string always ends with the null character. Okay, until it is not equal to null, what it has to supposed to do? It has to print that value. Remember this. Okay, so it means that value at first address not equal to null. Okay, we have to repeat. So if not equal to null, what is the first character? G. This is not equal to null, so I'm going to print G. Okay, what is the second character? O. O is not equal to null. Yes, O is going to be print. So another character again O. O is not equal to null. I'm going to print. So D. D is not equal to null. So I'm going to print D. Are you getting? So each time CP value will be updated by 1. It will move on to the next index value. So pointer increments by 1 every time. So it is keep on checking all the value. Listen, after modding, after G, it always ends with a null character. Finally, CP will be equal to null, then control comes out of the loop. Understood? So this is an example for pointers and strings. Array of pointers. So array of pointers means it's very simple. Programmers can define arrays of pointers to store and process addresses on n number of variables while solving the complex problems. It results into efficient program. So there is one example. To store the addresses of 3 variables, that is x, y, and z, you can define one pointer array of the size 3. So int x, comma, y, comma, again, this is supposed to be z. Okay. So int star IP of size 3. Okay. So here IP of 0, this is 0th position, ampersand of x. IP of 1, this is 1th position, ampersand 5. This is IPA 2. This is supposed to be okay. You can, this is supposed to be Z. Okay, X, Y, Z, the 3 variable. Okay, so ampersand of Z. This is how the array concept can be used. Pointers to pointers. What do you mean by pointers to pointers? Okay, pointer means the variable which stores the address of another variable. Pointers to pointers mean while solving complex problems, it is necessary for the programmer to store and process the address of pointers, not address of variable, address of pointers, and is possible by defining the pointer to pointer. Understood this? So it's very simple. It is necessary for the programmer to store and process the address of pointers. Okay, and is possible by defining the pointer to pointer. So here we have the example for the pointer to pointer. So initially int n is equal to 7. We have declared n variable and assigned, initialized the value, that is 7 to the n. Int star p, it means a pointer to normal variable n. Int star star IPP, what does it mean? It is the pointer to pointer IP. Okay, IP was a pointer, okay, integer pointer. So IPP is a pointer to pointer. Okay, so IP contains the address of n, but IPP contains the address of this pointer. Are you getting? Don't get confused. IP contains what? Address of n. Okay, IPP contains what? Address of this pointer IP. Okay, now we display the contents of n by using the both pointer IP and pointer to pointer IPP. So here printf IP. What is the value of IP? 7 only. Okay. So what is the value of IPP? 7 only. Why? Because I have taken address of this. Okay. So finally I am supposed to print the content. What is the content? Content will be 7. Okay. So 7 I am going to print. Okay. The important question in these topics are, you can expect what is pointer, discuss its declaration and initialization with syntax and example. Okay, you're supposed to define the pointer and declaration and initialization of the pointer with syntax and example. List advantages and disadvantages of pointers. We have seen few disadvantages as well as advantages. Then third question, explain the array of pointers with examples. Okay, so how array can be used in the pointer concept, and what is the benefit of that, you can explain with an example. So before I conclude, I would like to quote this: difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. So with this I complete this lecture. So thank you so much, everyone. So I request all of you, please subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you once again.